what you are about to see is me in a very rough situation, tricky situation last night when the anchor dragged took me very close to those rocks there, some of which I didn't show because it was too dark and I couldn't see them, and I just had to go into make sure I survive the night mode if something happens. This included getting everything ready just to abandon the boat. I was pretty convinced I was at very severe risk of punching a hole in the boat with some of the rocks here. But then my anchor jammed in the rocks, so I'm pleased about that. But I've had a very sleepless night, and this is some random video that I took whilst doing the things. What the heck is this? YouTube gold? Flipping no way. I am not happy, but I'm waiting for this to fill up. Basically, the wind has whipped me around. I'm so close to the rocks. You see the rocks sticking out there? And my anchor chain has got stuck. I can't lift it up anymore. So I've let it out, like, so that I've got some scope. But I am just... oh man, this is not good. I've got the dinghies now inflated, that's on deck. And let's turn the lights off so I don't kill the batteries on that one. Where is it? Forward deck close, right, that's off. Yeah, flip. I've got an hour and a half until low water. Because I've taken in the chain to pull me away from the rocks, as the water comes up, I've obviously now not got enough scope. But the anchor is jammed solid, so, you know, how much do you need when you've got a jammed solid anchor in 8 meters of water? 9 meters of chain? I don't know. I've got more than that out. This is just crazy. I'm and I can't see a thing. My spotlight torch is whack. It's just not a spotlight torch. Do not skimp on your spotlight torch. I've got torches, not a spotlight torch. So I can see what looks to be Rockies pointing out, not too far from behind me, but as long as they stay behind me, I'll be alright. That boat there is Asbo, but you can hardly see it. And underneath that anchor light is, I think it's called Departure. You see, yeah, you can't even make it out. I can only just barely make it out. It's pitch black. What can you do? So I've got my warm socks on with my wellies, ready to go. I've got my warm clothes on, my waterproof coats ready to go. I've got my grab bag ready to go, just to get over to one of those boats. But they're not answering their radio, and I've hooted the hooter thing, like a really loud horn. I've done an SOS on that actually, just to get their attention a few times, but nothing. I guess they're dead to the world. They've had a long sailing day. I'm actually shaking. I really am. Yeah, that's ironic, isn't it, considering I'm doing this for Parkinson's. And I keep trying channel 16 to call them, and they're not responding, and actually neither's the Coast Guard. I've not pan-panned yet. And it's not a pan-pan. Maybe it should be a pan-pan, but then what would people do? I've got a way out of this. I don't need to pan-pan. Did you hear that? But nobody's answering the radio. Nobody's answering the SOS on the hooty tooty thing. Flip. Right, so this is where I am supposedly, you know, 1.1 whatever, 1 meter, but it's not. That's not what it is. It's a lot different to that. It is, it's telling me it's 2.9 now, so it's really just variable where we are. 2.9 minus 0.6. I have to take that 0.6 off, so it's 2.3. So now it says 2.5, so it's 1.9. It's going to drop. I've got 1 hour and 40 minutes before the lowest low. That noise freaks me out, and then I'll be able to relax. But until then, I'm not relaxed. We've gone past low water, and I haven't got any holes in the boat, which is great. The anchor alarm keeps going off though, because obviously with lower water you move further away. Where am I now? In the middle of that lot somewhere. Yeah. This is a sleepless night. Sleepless night. Well, that's not true because I have snoozed. Every time that anchor alarm goes off, I'm up. The wind is just howling every now and then. It just whips out and then pulls on the snubber. And it's like, because it's the rope on the side and it's just about there. It's like, and then it will, as it loosens off. So I'm just listening to that. I'm kind of on the assumption now that I'm not going to have to get in that dinghy because I've got low water and I've not hauled the boat. Anyway, it's too bright with that light on and I'm too sleepy. 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been up throughout the night many times. As I've come up, putting a little bit more chain out so that I could take the height. The neighbours are still here. We are swinging, and this is not an easterly wind. I want to get out of here as soon as I can. But I think I've got time for a quick drink. Excuse me, a quick drink. I have not slept enough. Well, good news, as you can tell, I clearly got away. So got the anchor up as high as I could. I just put the boat in gear and just ragged it around. It's an almighty crash. I thought I'd ripped the front of the boat off, but no, thankfully the anchor had come up. Pulled it up by hand, and then of course you got this massive mound of chain on the deck because it doesn't go down the hose pipe quick enough. So I've just come out a little way from the bay, and that wind that was not easterly is so extremely easterly out just by, I don't know, third of a mile, half a mile, and so it's just whipping around inside there and just, yeah. So anyway, it's on this here, and I'm pointing north. Yeah, so it's like southeast. So anyway, decisions. It's still an easterly. Do I go around to the other side of Lundy, which is what I thought I would do because I thought it had gone west? I looked at the forecast. It will come west later this afternoon, but that's not until it's 7 AM now. Or do I just go to Swansea? Or do I just suck it up and go and anchor there again? It's a beautiful day for sailing, and I managed to get this little system working. A couple of bungees and a pulley. up to the top of the boom, and it's constantly keeping me there to the wind. Can you see that? There we are. And so I've been trying to rack my brains as to how this works. I only know it works by theory. I watched a YouTube channel and I've rigged it up, just did exactly what the fella said. And that's nice, there's Lundy behind me. On my way to Swansea, I've decided. This easterly wind is just, yeah. I got so little sleep last night. Anyway, so I watched this YouTube channel and they told me how to rig it up, and I've rigged it up just how he said. But I'd say the theory behind it is just blowing my mind. I can't understand the concept as to how it works, because that elastic is always trying to pull the boat that way, the tiller that way, which heads me up into wind, and then it starts to luff. But when it's luffing, it doesn't. It just stays luffing. There's nothing pulling it back this way. If I pull it back this way, the sail will fill again, and then I can let go, and it all seems happy. And if I go away from the wind, I guess that's when it works best. I'm really struggling getting that into my head as to how that works. So I took everything off to do a tack, because, 1.1 knots, amazing. Because I wasn't quite aiming towards Swansea. And I did a tack, and actually ended up pretty much going that way instead of that way. So I tacked back. And because I'm so tired, forgot to put all of that paraphernalia back on. But Ketty, close hauled, is sailing herself. I had a look at this. So that confuses me even more now. Admittedly, I am only doing 1.6 knots, if that. Could be something to do with that great big red arrow pointing against me. More to learn. I'm still tempted to go back to Lundy and just go on the other side of Lundy. I mean, I'm sure it would be pretty. But can Windy be trusted? Because Windy says at the moment it's coming from the south, but it's clearly not, because I'm only making 40 degrees. I'm surprised I'm making even that, to be honest. Anyway, that's what the compass... Come on, compass, get into zoomage. There we are. The weather today is interesting. I set off from Lundy with a good speed of sail on, and that disappeared, and it has now changed to the westerly that they said it would change to, but there's not enough of it. So once again the motor's on. I'm punching tide. That was a silly decision to leave when I did, but I didn't want to spend any more time locked there in that anchorage, fearful of puncturing the boat. And maybe I should have gone around to Lundy, the other side. I mean, maybe I should. But here we are now. As you can see, I've got, like, coat on, buff around the neck. Every now and then it gets warm. Still got my wellies on as well. because it's so lumpy. Well, it's not so lumpy, it's a bit lumpy. What time are we on? It's 11 o'clock. It's a different day now than it was when I started, that's for sure. The joy and elation of actually getting the anchor up. Just, oh, I called the other boats as well. They lifted anchor and disappeared. What's it called? The smaller boat disappeared like pretty much the same time as I did, and I radioed them a few times just to see whether they'd experienced a rough night or not. No answer. So what was it called? Departation, whatever your name was. Turn your radio on or listen to it or something. People might need to talk to you. So yes, last night was indeed horrible. Today I am tired. It's only just 11 o'clock. I need to get myself some sugary food, I think, to compensate from all the energy that I didn't make last night while I was not asleep. In the meantime, there's Lundy. Just a bit disappointed I can still see it, because for all I'm making 5 knots through the water, I'm actually only doing 3 knots across the world. Hey Dolly, Dolly, Dolly! There you are. Look at that. Remarkable creatures. Some people ask me, what do you do? Do you read? Well, I listen to audiobooks. I've got another 5 hours to go here, so yes, I'm listening to an audiobook. Just finished one. Santa Montefore's The Secrets of the Spirit-Lit Sea has just finished. Perhaps listening to a story that involves the Titanic wasn't best to listen to yesterday and today, especially the situation that I was in. The book is about some strange spiritual things. It's not something that I would have gone towards. There's a lady with a Ouija board, and a clairvoyant, and they have a bad time in a hotel, and then there's poltergeist takes over. That's the basis for the story of a lady who goes back in time and lives as one of the people that was on board the Titanic. The storytelling is brilliant. I thought she did a really good job. I really enjoyed it. Description was superb. There was themes of love. LGBTQ plus was thrown in there. Equality, compared from 1912 to 2014, was in there. And I figured out before the end where the Potemkin diamond was actually hiding. Maybe you could too. The author did a great job of working around that. So if you don't mind tolerating some dodgy spiritual stuff, then yeah, it's a good read. That's what I would say about that. So that is a Ricky recommendation. How many times am I allowed to change my mind in a journey? Plan A, plan B, plan C? Well, I'm nearly at Swansea, but I saw on Navally a great little anchorage, which, if the weather forecast is correct, then I can anchor there quite happily tonight. But oh yeah, I learned from last night. This is my Ketty 2 anchor trip. Do not pull. I'm going to put a tripping line on my anchor tonight, which is bizarre because it's a sandy area actually, but quite frankly, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm only about 1 hour and 10 minutes away from anchoring up again. Oh, am I a glutton for punishment? Because here I am in Uxwich on anchor. Yes, that's right, I'm on anchor again. I anchored in 7 metres of water. The drop is 5.8, but I want 1.4. And it's going to go up to 8 metres, even though I don't, and I put out 30 metres of chain, 40 metres of chain, because that's all I've got. And there are other people here anchored, so, and there are no rocks. So let's have a little look at this. Already doing my anchor dance. Already gone up, well, take a metre off that 8.3. So I'm in deeper water than what I anchored in. But that's not surprising because the wind will push me that way. Yeah. Good night, everybody. It's 5 PM. I'm going to go to sleep.